track will increase by 10 due to concerns over future tsunami threats. Each turn after the first, local resistance to influence will increase by 1 influence. If the situation is not resolved within 3 turns, the U.S. will suffer a loss of trade represented by a loss of 1 PR. If the crisis develops into a civil war, China will suffer a loss of trade represented by a loss of 1 PR. There may be additional effects added by control.
Tsunamis.
Yeah, it's a Pacific terror tsunami thing, a typo.
They actually control the weather.
The first projected consequence of
Sorry,
inaction.
you guys all have to pick this.
Yeah.
Where is that one?
The start of the
conditions. So,
It might just not be tsunami based.
I think
Terror.
it might be left
Yeah.
over from.
It's
From the
just-
previous.
It's probably just from the
I
template.
just want to double check and see if there's actual terror response or the entire thing was taken.
Well,
The last one.
Do we know what the current threat
Thailand
level
may
is?
also be subjected to
Midnight.
tsunamis. So
Dread.
I mean, I'm always concerned about tsunamis. I'm just saying.
Don't blame me.
Let's treat it as real.
Oh, wow.
So if we
It's
don't
not a
deal with-
typo.
I imagine it will add 10, no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if it's not.
Yeah.
Long story short, do we recognize the coup?
I need to talk to my government before making any statements about
And
that.
this is gonna count as turn 1, isn't it?
For you?
Well, no, this
Oh,
said every,
Is Myanmar
Oh,
still
yeah,
an
yeah,
NPC?
they will. Yeah.
Is Myanmar still an NPC UN sitting
Yes.
member? Can they give us any input in this situation?
We can find out what the. Do we have specific questions
I
about
think they're
this?
specifically
Well, I
asking us to
mean-
intervene.
So it's just like they're saying is just they want us to intervene.
Yeah, Myanmar clearly supports this measure because it's one of the sponsors of this measure.
Okay.
But you're asking for specific context?
Do they support
No,
either
it's
side?
fine. It's fine. We're good.
Alrighty. Well, since we don't have anything else, is there anything else on the session that we want to do? Any resolutions that we need to write while we contemplate this? It sounds like many of us need to go back to our heads of state and our teams and discuss our response at this point. U.S.
I would like to move that Egypt be made a permanent member of the UN Security Council. Permanent voting
We will
member.
need to draft a resolution to that effect and put in place. Are there any seconds to that motion?
I mean, we were willing to house refugees and UN
Yeah,
guys.
in response to this, you've opened your borders to helping out.
Second.
I have a question about if they become permanent members,
Mm-hmm.
do we lose permanent members?
No.
They just are
As far
added.
as
We
I
lose
know,
regular
just keep
members
having-
and
yeah.
just
Well,
We just take the
point-
NPCs out as far as I
It
know.
never said, it's part of the resolution, never said that we were gonna reduce the number of
Yeah.
rotating members. So at this point, it just seems like we just add Brazil onto the permanent members.
And we still have 10.
So right now it's 10 to
NPCs.
6.
16.
Or,
No, we have
sorry,
9 NPCs.
9. Okay.
And what we need to figure out after this round is who we lose and then Brazil steps in.
I think are you saying that we would have
The resolution.
6 permanent members
Yeah.
plus 10?
Well, the resolution never said to remove the rotating member.
We'll have to get clarity from game control. I just assumed it was replacing an NPC.
I mean, yeah.
That's generally what would happen, I would think.
Well, I mean, whenever we've gone to them, they're like, oh, well, you didn't say, so random stuff happens.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair.
so.
So
Alrighty.
before we forget and before the session closes, we should work out the language for the Alien Defense Pact or the Fellowship Defense Pact or whatever. Do we need to add teeth to it? Do we just need to clarify the
Should we at least add
definition
sanctions,
of-
if not expulsion? If
I
we're
would
gonna,
say suspension at the very least. Sanctions would be the highest.
Rev-
Expulsion is 2.
revocation of voting ability?
That would
For
also
a
that
session.
would be given, and I would assume if we were not going to give support, it's like if they're not going to support, why should they have any word in influencing further course of action of the UN?
I have a different direction. All of our country's presidents have joined together to agree to take on the aliens. And I feel that we should change this resolution to all member countries join together to expel the aliens from our atmosphere completely.
It's,
Well-
that would be seen as a hostile action, and I would caution that we not take a hostile action until we have a strong enough defense force to hold off.
So
Whether
here-
we could all work then to make a unified defense force.
Here's bringing up the dilemma of presidents within the alliances, which does the UN recognize?
Which
Which-
countries?
which-
Which of the alliances that are out there does the UN recognize and endorse? That is a very good
But all
question. to bring to-
presidents join together for this.
All right then.
Yeah.
And do we
Says who?
officially recognize that? That's something to recognize.
Brazil's president said that she met with all presidents,
Yeah,
and they all made this agreement.
Japan's been talking along those lines too.
I've heard that there was an agreement in the works, but
Yeah.
I don't know the specifics, other than that we need to make sure that we keep the lines of communication open with the aliens, because completely cutting this off, they haven't utilized our space that we created for them. But those countries that are in communication with different alien factions, please tell them that this is the best way to get things done, so that way the UN is aware of what their intentions are. As it is, it sounds like they're silent on all matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, it's my president's been in contact with, is it called the conglomerate? And he said the conglomerate comes in peace, and they have expressed frustration at hostility from people on Earth, and the UN was included in that because of not being allowed a seat. So they've been struggling to find the best way to communicate with humanity. And that's where France has been working with them more, because they do come in peace, is what appears, and hence, you know, the cancer.
But
cure
you
as
also
well.
have agreed to send all your criminals into space.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Well, we got that on a news
Yeah, I just
ticker.
said that.
So,
A question which is, have the aliens been making greater use at least of the communication center that we set up?
we were told no, just
We
now.
were told no.
Right, so I'm wondering if we
Yeah.
should do some more work around that.
They have conglomerate has a base in France. They're actively using that.
You've been observer place.
Unilaterally,
What's that?
unilaterally, France is just,
You allowed it, or they just decided
to?
No, we allowed it. Yes, we did.
We need to pressure them to utilize the UN space, so that way all countries can be in on alien intention.
I don't see why they would if we didn't allow them to see. That's kind of like a.
This is an area of communication. A seat is a vote in Earth Matters. It is a different. We need to be aware of what their intentions are, and we've created a telephone for them, and they not called us.
Would we like to invite them into conversation to clarify what we imagine that center to be? And so
That would be a good idea.
there might be something to that.
Now, another question. Forgive me if I had a mental lapse and didn't pay attention to the last minutes of this, but has anybody else established contact with a third
Faction?
There's four.
okay, with the other factions of extraterrestrials who are trying to play low?
And where's your resource for this?
I don't know.